Test. Test.
Yeah.
All right.
Christina.
Already gives anything. It's fine. Just take it. Oh, no
In case you say anything.
Good dance. Good dancing.
Really? Do you want to do this?
What?
In case he says anything.
He's not gonna.
I knew he was good at it.
Okay, you want it to change? You need something? What do you want?
It's okay.
No?
Tell him it's the other voodoo child.
Voodoo child is in your heart.
Voodoo child.
I know.
Please stay in our lives
I'm
forever.
surprised you guys are still awake.
Thank you very much. Welcome to
It's a strange version. That guy was so handsome last night.
But not this morning.
I didn't say anything.
So much for last night.
Yeah. I hope we didn't break anything.
Happy birthday.
Let's go.
You want to hand that to somebody?
Here, give it to my
She
wife.
loves to.
now it's yours.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You please take it. You have it. You go.
Still awake?
Yes,
You're
yes.
dancing pretty good.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I have fun with you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay, so when he starts talking, can you click original sound off?
Okay, when he starts.
As soon as he starts talking, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's starting. It's fine.
Fine. Now you can do it.
No, no, no.
No,
No, we don't want to be.
no. You say I need the line input instead of.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Testing.
You okay? Anything? So just I can stall. Okay. Oh, that okay. What was that video? Okay. Okay, good. That's fine. Computer problems. Hang on. Like 150 years ago, there was a Japanese monk from Japan, and he walked to Tibet 150 years ago, and he entered Sera Monastery secretly, and he almost finished his Geshe, very close to Geshe. Then I think they found out he was not from Tibet. At that time, nobody can go there except Tibetan. But he was a great, great scholar. And he almost finished. And then he had to come back to Japan. And he brought with him, what is that? He brought with him about 7,000 books from Tibet. He brought the whole Kangyur, the 990 teachings of Lord Buddha. He brought the 3,700 commentaries, and then he brought 4,000 or 5,000 Tibetan commentaries, native commentaries. So that's probably the best collection of ancient books in the world for many centuries. And he donated it to a university in Japan, central North Japan, called Tohoku University. And that catalog that he made just before the war, just before World War II, they finished the catalog, a group of scholars at Tohoku University. And it's the greatest catalog ever done of Buddhist literature, in my opinion. And when we started ACIP 35 years ago, we used that catalog as the basis of ACIP. So we decided we will try to find those 7,000 books, and because they are the greatest books. I don't know how he chose them, but it's the greatest of the greatest. And I went to Tohoku University, I saw the collection. Each book is in a separate drawer with a lock. And it's amazing. It's an amazing collection. I couldn't find a copy of the catalog 35 years ago. So my professor, the first person who taught me Buddhism, was called William Lafleur. And he was a translator of Japanese poetry. And he was my first Buddhism teacher, and he was at Princeton. And he translated an ancient Japanese poet named Saigyo. And he was the first translator of Saigyo's poetry. And it's very, very beautiful. And so he got me permission to look at the catalog. It's called the Tohoku catalog. And he worked very hard. He got me permission to go to University of Pennsylvania and see the catalog. And I took a young Mongolian man with me, who I was teaching at that time. And I left him in the library for 3 days, secretly. And he photocopied the whole Tohoku catalog, secretly. You're supposed to only photocopy 2 or 3 pages. And he stayed there for 3 days. And he copied the whole Tohoku catalog. And we still use that catalog for ACIP. When we are choosing what book to input for now it's called Asian Legacy Library, we use the Tohoku catalog. And we use the number on each book. We use the Tohoku number. So this is the standard for the whole world. Why I'm talking about that, Stanley and Allison in September, right? They went to a bookstore across the street from the Okuda Hotel. And they called me. And they said, Geshe, there's a book there. It's called Tohoku Catalog. You think it's useful? You think maybe you need it, And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, go get it, And we ran over there when I came this time. And this is the Tohoku Catalog, published by Tohoku University, 1938, 1937. And it's the best piece of work before ALL. And all of ALL is based on this book. Why we brought it today. Today we'll be talking to you about the new university, the MBA, EMBA University. There will be one branch in Kyoto. And Mr. Yamagui is helping us. Thank you very much. And I'd like to give him a hand. Yeah. And Sophia Kai from Tokyo. Thank you. Yes. So they're helping us to get the building. We have more meetings today to arrange the building here. Different buildings we are looking at. Mr. Yamagui and Kurotake-san have been very, very helpful. And last night, Mr. Yamagui proved that he can dance. So now he's part of this group, I think so. So I want to thank for that. Oh, and this is in the bookstore. When we found the book, that bookstore is about 15 minutes from here. So I think this book was sitting there for about 80 years. And we asked the guy how you can keep a book here for 80 years. This book has been there, yeah. And then he said, well, we've been open for 150 years. My great-great-grandfather started this store. So it's not unusual that we have a book. So this is the first book for the library of the new university. And I think it's great that it's from Tohoku University. So, yay. Okay. And they're going to talk tonight, this afternoon. You guys they have a presentation about the university. I encourage you to come. We have a challenge that we wanted to create an MBA and an EMBA degree, but we want it to be special. We want to mix together some of the great ancient books and some of the great ancient methods, for example, of debating. So the students at the MBA college and the EMBA, they will also do debating. And I had a dream about changing the debating in a certain way. It's very aggressive right now. If you've ever seen it, it's very stressful. And in fact, you don't know, but my class in the Geshe, we started with 60 students. Only 2 survive. Only 2 finish. It's very stressful and very competitive. And the whole debating thing, it's a good system that comes from Buddha 2,500 years ago. But sometime, I think about 1,000 years ago, it became very aggressive. And so I had a dream about making it more gentle. And we had a nice demonstration in a special theater. Japan has the oldest surviving theater system in the world. It's called no play. It's about 1,000 years old. And they still have a few people who know how to do it. And so I had a dream about Mr. Kurotake-san, who's an associate of Mr. Yamaguchi. And we went there and we said, can we demonstrate the old debate and the new debate? And he said, sure. And then we asked him for his advice about how to, because his whole life, he's been on the stage. He's been performing these ancient plays. And so we had a really good time. And it turns out he also owns some large buildings that maybe we can use for the college. So we are working together on that. And thank you for your help. Yeah. Okay. Where's Dad, Aisha? Is Dad here? Say again? Moving. Okay, let me know when he comes. I have a presentation for him. First thing I'd like to do today is to give a big thanks, especially, last night was the best party I ever been to in 70 years, 69.9. And the team that worked, I asked, where's Rosa? She's still recovering? We'll call her out later. Anyway, the team worked really, really, really hard. and to arrange 11 Cuba people to fly here and get a visa for Japan, and all of the trouble and all of the money. It was Rosa. So I'll thank her in the afternoon. She's probably sleeping, and we'll talk to her then. Okay. Let's go to the text. Yeah, so we had, we reached the part where King Sri Sena, and by the way, we're on 40, we're about 40, you guys, about section 40, yeah. We reached the part where the king, he's already teaching the people the 10 good deeds. And we had a quotation from the Yoga Sutra yesterday, and it said, Mahavrata, Jati Desha Kala Anavachina. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It doesn't matter what's your religion. It doesn't matter what language you speak. There are certain basic behavior between human beings. We don't kill each other. We don't steal from each other. We don't steal wife or husband of another person. We don't lie. And these are recognized all over the world. And I think if we didn't have them in every country, then this world would be crazy. You wouldn't want to sit next to anybody because they might kill you to get your money in your pocket. You know, we have this basic morality in the world and we don't think about it. You know, you get on the airplane to come here, you didn't bring a gun unless you're from Arizona. But you didn't try to protect yourself in the airplane because you know it's pretty safe. No one's going to shoot you in the airplane. And we have, throughout the world, this basic morality. And we have it in Islam, we have it in Christianity, we have it in Buddhism. The Hindus have it, the Jews have it. Everybody has it. Basic morality. I'm going to sneeze, sorry. So they are talking here that the king, even before the story starts, he's a person who teaches his people these 10 good deeds. I need, hang on. Yeah. Hang on, I'm allergic to old books, maybe. Okay. So in this story, in this sutra, something begins to happen. And because the people in King Sri Sena's country are following these 10 good deeds, those people who are reborn, who are die and reborn, the normal percentage does not go to hell. Okay? The normal percentage does not go to hell. So how many people percentage goes to hell after they die? Lord Buddha, somebody asked Buddha this question. They said, how many people go to hell and how many people don't go to hell? You know, and he was sitting as usual in a park, and there was some dirt he was sitting on the ground, and he licked his finger, and he touched the ground, and he picked up his finger, and there was a few dust particles on his finger, and he said, if you take all the dust of the planet down to the middle of the planet, if you take all the stone, all the dirt, all the dust, and you break it into little pieces, then this many don't go to hell. And the rest go to hell, you know, human beings. This many don't go to hell, okay? And what happens in the story here, and that's because people just don't realize how delicate it is to We do bad deeds every few seconds. We think bad things about people around us. It way outnumber the good deeds. Now, something happened in the story. There's this guy named Shakra, okay? There's this guy named Shakra. Shakra means king of the god realm. God in Tibetan language or Sanskrit, Deva, it doesn't mean God like Christian God. It means God like Marvel movie superhero. Okay, so Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, these guys, they are not immortal, you know, they do die, right? After many, many movies, after all the profit was squeezed out, they will die sometimes, okay? So those guys, superpowers, they say a real deva, when they want to have a game, you know marbles, the kids play with these little round marbles. In my school, it was very popular. In my school, we are not allowed to do it because too many people lost their marbles. But we are playing with marbles. They use planets. Those devas use planets. Like they shoot the planets with their thumbs, you know. They're like this powerful. So according to Buddhism, if you're very meditating very well in this life, but you don't understand what to meditate about, just your meditation is strong, then you will be born into this deva realm. And there's a big boss there, okay? The big boss of by the way, they are powerful, and they get old, and then they die. And they suffer more than normal people because they start out so beautiful and so powerful, and then they lose it. So the boss of all the devas called Shakra. Shakra means a shatkur. Shat means 100. It came into the word century, for example. And then Kur means to destroy in this case. So Shatkara, Shakra, it means the destroyer of 100 cities. In the translation you can see he's called destroyer of the 100 cities. It means he's very powerful. And he's looking down with his friends on the earth. He's looking down and he said, all his friends say, hey, good news, you know. And he's like, what? And they said, there's much more people dying and not going to hell. And much more people dying and coming to the Deva realm, God realm. Our people's getting more and more and more. We are so strong now. Now I need to show you a picture so you understand. You got that Mount Meru picture? Nice. This is a traditional drawing of the world according to Buddhism. Vasubandhu, 1,700 years ago. And it's supposed to be the world is flat, and there's a big mountain in the middle of the world. And that mountain has 4 sides at the top, and on those mountains live the worldly gods. Okay, supposed to be. It's like Mount Everest or something like that. We call Mount Meru. And there's a tradition that on top of the mountain are living the gods. The Iron Man, Spider-Man, those guys. They live on the top. Then the guys who fight the Marvel comic guys. Who is that? Like Batman's enemy, the Joker, or something like that. These powerful bad guys. They live at the bottom of the mountain, okay? And it's supposed to be that there's a great jealousy between the very rich and the pretty rich, okay? Like they say, to be pretty rich is very bad because you get jealous of the very rich, okay? You are rich, you should be happy. but you focus on the people who are more rich. So they say the worst thing in this world is to be almost richest man. Jeff Bezos this week, Elon Musk dropped down from number 1 to number 2. And I was imagining how much suffering he got. You know, he's like, God, all the newspapers announcing. He lost 30 billion on his cars or something, and because he made a bad deal with Twitter. And he has this special suffering that now he's only number 2 richest man in the world, you know. And probably he's woke up very unhappy to read the newspaper. I think so. If I was number 2, I could just donate it to John Brady. He's like, yeah. By the way, yesterday he had a good day. Yeah, we had a goal to fund his research at the Mongolian Library for 3 years. And I think we funded it for 4 years, maybe. 3.5, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, the richest guys and the almost richest guys hate each other. This is the nature. And they start fighting. So Shakra is in charge of the richest guys. And he got information from his assistants. And they say, life is good. Things are doing really good. He said, why? They said, I don't know. Like more and more people not being born in the hell. More and more people being born as a deva, you know. It means they are doing good deeds their whole life, you know. Then he said, what's that, you know? Why are people suddenly doing more good deeds? You guys know why. The king, Sri Sena teaching everybody to be nice to each other. So more and more people, there's a shortage of people in the hell, and there's an extra people going up. Okay, and the gods notice it. They say, what's going on, you know? And he looks down, you know. By the way, if you want to see what these gods look like, there's a beautiful carving. There's a mountain in Indonesia, in Java. Right, Java, Sugeng? Called Borobudur, okay? And this mountain was carved into a pyramid, a stupa, 1,000 years ago. It has 1,500 carvings of beautiful Buddhist stories. Each carving's the size of this screen here. And they have a special rain system. When it rains, the carving doesn't get hurt. They have special pipes from 1,000 years ago. But there are some volcanoes nearby. And then sometimes the volcanoes cover the mountain with ash. So I don't know, 100 years ago it was covered by ash. And some Dutch explorers found it, and they dug it out, and they found that most of these Buddhist stories are there. And we use those carvings in some of our books. This is Borobudur Temple. It's a huge pyramid. You know, it takes half a day to walk up. It takes half a day to walk down. Why I'm showing you that, if you want to see what those devas look like, you can get the carvings there. And we located the carvings for many sutras. We found some of the carvings have writing on the back of them. And we made connection with the sutras. So there's a sutra called Karma Vibhanga, which means everything you want to know about karma. It's called All the Kinds of Karma. And we started translating it 6 years ago, the Sanskrit and the Tibetan, with Dr. Eric Wu, our Chinese colleague. And he finished the book. The book is finished. The book has been published. Why I'm mentioning it, if you want to see devas, go check out this book. It's called All the Kinds of Karma. And Mr. Wu is teaching it this week at Borobudur. And there's another coincidence. By the way, he's the sponsor for many, many of our translations. He pays a lot of support for our 12 translators. And he's in Borobudur today. He's teaching the book he translated with us. And they lit up the pyramid tonight, last night and tonight. His group put the lights on the pyramid. You got that other one? There's another picture. Yeah. So why they lit it up? It's his birthday today. Okay, so we have the same birthday. He's a little younger. Okay, I think 68 or no, just kidding. But I'd like to sing. Tim, if we sing happy birthday, can you record it or something? Are you ready? Or you want to iPhone it? I'd like to sing happy birthday to him because he's supporting all of our translator work. Are you ready? Okay. Try to sing good, okay? All right, you ready, Tim? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dr. Wu. Happy birthday to you. Thank you for all the translations. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Woo. Woo. He sent us a video, but it's kind of crazy. I don't want to show it to you, but it's he has a children's group, and they are performing The Two Husbands in the Kitchen today, and it got a little out of hand. So they love the fighting part between the husband and wife. I think it's better we don't show it. Okay. So anyway, congratulations to Dr. Wu, and it's good. All right. So people find out that more and more people are being born in the higher realms because they are keeping the 10 rules of which they are taught by King Sri Sena. Okay, and then somebody asked, they asked Chakra. By the way, he has another nickname, which is Kaushika. Kaushika, okay? You guys know Kusha grass. Kusha grass, we use it in the fire offering. It's traditionally the seat on which Lord Buddha sat. It's a kind of grass. It's a very pleasant grass. So it means good deed grass or something like Kusha. Kusha means good deeds. So Chakra's other name is Kaushika. Sometimes in the book, you can see him called Kaushika. And he gets curious. Chakra gets curious. And he looks down from the mountain, Mount Everest. And he's looking down and he says, why are all these people being born in the higher realms? And then he realizes, it's King Sri Sena. He's teaching all these guys good deeds. And he sings a poem to him. When we get to section 52, okay, you guys can scroll ahead. He says something about the king. He says the king is a being who is made of nothing but sheer compassion. On the outside, he cannot help himself to give things away. He loves sharing. He loves sharing things. In fact, you could ask him for a piece of his body. Scroll down. And he would give it to you with love. Okay, it's not like, oh, I don't know if I can give it to you. He's like, you want my arm? Here you go. Take it. I love you. He's like that. Okay. So Chakra, this king of the gods, is looking down at the king. And he says, God, this king, he doesn't ever hesitate to give away anything. He will give you anything. He will give you his own arm. If you ask for his kidney, he will give you his kidney, both kidneys. You know, if you ask him for something, he will do it. This is guy, amazing being, okay? And then he says in the next verse, no one taught him this inside behavior or the outside behavior. No one taught him. We call self-made Buddha, self-made Buddha. It means without a teacher. In this life, he has instincts, okay? What's the catch about the instincts? You learn them in about 1 million lifetimes from teachers, okay? So yeah, you do meet people in this life who are very, very kind, very, very, they look naturally kind. And he's one of those. Actually, they had a teacher for many millions of years, okay? That's called self-made Buddha. He's amazing. And he's always trying to get to enlightenment, okay? Let me see. Then they finished that story. And then the other gods say to Chakra, okay? The other people in the god realms. That's unbelievable that you are saying he's giving away even his arm. And then something happens. They say, we doubt it. We don't think he could do it. You know, you're talking, Chakra, about this king, and you say he's got this incredible compassion, and he will share even his own body. But look, it hurts to give your body. It hurts too much, you know. We don't believe you, Chakra, that he has that power, okay? You get what's going to happen? Okay. Chakra says, oh, my friends, by the way, I'm on section 61. And this is a translation of this sutra. I don't think this sutra has been translated before. And our team, input team, found it in India. We found the Sanskrit also. And he says, and it's in the Tohoku catalog. There's a copy in Tohoku. He says, hey, you guys, don't speak this way. I believe he would give away his own body. I believe he could do it, you know. So that's the challenge. Then they caught the seeing cots. Probably there's an advertisement from some, I don't know, donut company. And then when they come back, we skip to the king's palace. And people start having dreams, okay? People start having dreams. And the queen, Jaya Prabha, conquering light or something like that, she starts to have a dream. In the dream, I'm on section 63. She sees the king in the dream, pushes her out of bed, and she falls on the floor. And then he reaches down and he brings her back up into the bed. She sees him tear out his own eyes. And then she sees the eyes grow back again. She sees him slice off his right shoulder and it falls on the ground. And then she sees it grow back again. Then she sees a spirit. If you want to know what a bardo being looks like, it says here, if you took a piece of silver rock, natural silver rock, and you break it, then inside there's this silver color. That's what a preta looks like. They look like silver color. They seem like to be silver color, okay? She says, and then I dreamt that this being ripped off the king's left shoulder, and then it grew back again. She has this dream, okay? And then she wakes up and she's wondering, is something terrible pain is coming to me? or something's going to happen to my husband. She doesn't know. She's worried about the dream. Okay. Then she told the dream to her husband, and he says to himself, I think someone's going to come and ask me to share my wife. Okay. I think, he knows dreams. He knows what dreams mean. And he says, I think it means someone's going to ask, and if I will give them my wife, to his wife, he says, dream is a dream. People used to go to my teacher, they call it mite. Can you see the meaning of your dreams? Can you tell the future from your dreams? He said, oh, yeah, I have this skill. We call it dream meditation, right? In the dream, you practice meditation. In the dream, you try to see emptiness. It's a very high tantric practice, And then my teacher, people used to ask him, do you know about dreams? Can you meditate on emptiness inside your dreams? And he said, I understand everything about dreams. And we said, what? We want him to teach us, He said, if you have a good dream, it's true. And he said, if you have a bad dream, just forget it. Dream is a dream, And that's his whole teaching about dream, And the king says the same thing to his wife. He says, honey, dream is a dream, We always say dream is unreal. The dream is not real, So don't worry about it, honey. There's no problem. You guys giving me a countdown, but it's not moving, okay? So I'm just going to teach all day. All right. No, I'm kidding. Oh, there it goes. Now it's moving. Mahamati, if you remember, he's the prime minister. He's the main minister of the 12,000 ministers. He also has a dream. He dreams that the palace of the king is made of jewels, gemstones. Probably Mr. Arikawa built the palace. I don't know. And then he sees all these bad spirits come to the palace, and they carry the gems away. But after the palace falls down, the palace is built back up again. Okay, the palace comes back again. Okay, then he wakes up, and he gets an instinct that someone's going to ask his king for the king's body. Okay, so the second dream, the prime minister, who's very, very close to the king, he gets this premonition. He gets this idea, I think someone's going to ask my king for his body. I feel like that, okay? He has this dream. Okay? Then he's not sure. And in the story, in the sutra, he goes and finds a dream interpreter, like some kind of wise person. And he says, what do you think is the meaning of this dream? And that wise person says, yes, somebody's going to come and ask your king for his body. Okay. And the minister gets very upset, and he starts crying because he knows, yup, that's something his king would do. Okay, like he understands his friend. And he says, now he's really worried, because he says, yeah, my king would do that. If somebody asked him for his body, I feel like he would do that, So he's very worried, okay, because they are very close friends. All right. And so they say in the sutra, the minister felt that the army of impermanence was arriving. Okay, like we all have this army approaching us. Each one of us, we have our impermanence is coming. It's just a question of what year or what month we all have a death coming to us. When I first went to the Buddhist monastery from Princeton University, we have this Christian cathedral, huge, probably one of the largest in the West. Beautiful cathedral, And then I came to the little Mongolian monastery, and they have all these terrible paintings, like, and one of them, there's this terrible demon holding the world, And I was used to the cathedral. I used to go to the cathedral. I served in the cathedral. And then I came to this Buddhist temple, and there's these terrible pictures, and I asked my teacher, this is a little strange for me. I grew up with this, and you guys are going, and I said, and these pictures, so terrible, these demons. Why you have demons in your church? And he said, that's not a demon, that's your death. And I'm like, well, why do you paint it so terrible? He said, that guy's inside of you since the day you were born. He was born with you. That demon in that painting was born with you. And on the day you came out, he started to chew. He started to take a little bit. He's born at your heart, and he starts to chew. The day you are born, he starts to chew more and more and more. My mom got cancer. She had breast cancer for many years. And at the end, we took care of her in my brother's house. And the cancer reached her heart. And one day it broke the heart, the skin of the heart. And she just threw up all her blood. In like 10 minutes, all her blood came out all over the floor, and she died. And we all have that. We all have that guy's inside, and he's eating, and one day he reaches the heart, and then you die. We all have this being. So the minister, the prime minister, is like, even the king is going to die like this. He realizes even the king is going to die, Then the 12 ministers, they have 12,000 government officers, It's probably like the American post office. There's like 12,000 workers. They move like 12 letters every day. It's incredible. You can send a letter from my house to Sedona, but you could walk there faster. Anyway, they have a dream that a bunch of demons come. They steal away the crown of the king, but then they bring it back. They chop off the heads of all the leaders in the country, and then they put the heads back. They take out the eyes of every person, and then they put the eyes back, okay? They cut off the arms and legs of every person, and then they put the arms and legs back. And they have these dreams, okay? The last dream they have is that the king steps down off of the throne, and then he walks back up to the throne, okay? These are the dreams of the ministers, okay? And everyone's freaking out. So all these dreams starts a rumor, and this rumor starts to spread around the city. And everybody says something terrible is going to come. Everybody's been dreaming about it. It seems very, very serious. And it looks like the whole world will be left by itself. Here's the sutra. And it came to pass that the king himself, Sri Sena, he heard about the dreams. And when he had heard them, he was overcome with joy and happiness. Wow, someone's gonna come and ask me for my body. I'm so happy. Everyone else is depressed and upset. And the king is like, wow, I can't wait. Someone's gonna ask me to give up even my own body. Okay. But outwardly to everybody else, he says, oh, dream is a dream, don't worry about it. Everything's okay. We're gonna be okay. Okay. Now it switches to a mountain outside of the city, probably like this mountain compared to, what do you call that central area in Kyoto? Ginza? Ginza? No. Hill. So on the outskirts, like in the mountains around Kyoto or something, there's some yogis. There's a camp of 500 yogis, and they are meditating in the mountains, and they are practicing in the mountains. These are Brahman, we say Hindu yogis. They are meditating, okay? And then one of them came down to the city, central city, Okura, and he reached the palace, and he was walking around the palace, and he saw the queen, and he fell in love with her. Okay, she's already married, of course, but he's a yogi, and he fell in love with her. The sutra says that in his past life he was married to her. So when he saw her again, he felt a strong connection to her, and he's very, very attracted to her. So then he goes back, he keeps teaching. He's a teacher, and he has a student who's learning, we call Vedanta. He's learning the Vedas. Vedas are the ancient books of knowledge of India. They're about 5,000 years old. There are 4 Vedas, and my Sanskrit teacher was probably the greatest master in the West of Veda, and very, very, very ancient Sanskrit. So it's very difficult to learn. You're supposed to memorize it. My teacher at Princeton, he required us to memorize a page to get into the class. And we also started with about 100 students, and at the end we had 2. And he was 65, and he said, now finally I can teach the way I want to teach, because if the university can't fire me, I'm retiring anyway. So everybody could. And then for, I don't know, 9 years or something, I studied at his home. And that was very, very beautiful. So he's a Veda. This very difficult to learn the Vedas. And this yogi in the mountain is teaching the Vedas to his students, okay? And he finishes the 4 Vedas, teaching to one of his students. And then the student said, what can I offer you? It's so precious that you taught me the Vedas. What can I offer you? Can you guess what the yogi says, the teacher? Yeah, he says, go to the palace, meet the king, ask him for his wife. Ask him to give you his wife. He cannot refuse anybody. He never says no. Ask him for his wife. And then bring her back here and give her to me. Okay, give her to me. And then he quotes a verse. Give your teacher the riches that your teacher desires. Give your master any offering which they desire. Okay. And then the student starts to doubt the teacher. He says, oh, maybe my teacher has a bad motivation. He wants to take the king's wife. Maybe my teacher has a bad motivation. If I do this, if I ask the king's wife, it will embarrass all of the yogis. We will disgrace all of the yogis, And so he decides maybe he will refuse his teacher. Then he gets another idea. The person who refuses their teacher is more disgrace. Okay, it's a disgrace to ask the king for his wife. But if you learn the Vedas from your teacher and they ask you to do something and you don't do it, it's more disgrace. So he says, well, between a big disgrace and a medium disgrace, I'll take the medium disgrace. So he goes down to he tells his teacher, look, it's going to be hard. And his teacher says, don't worry about it. This king is a strange guy. He likes to give things away. He will give you. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, just go and do what I ask you. So the student goes. He prepares himself first to look like wandering yogi. Okay, we call Digambara. You know Digambara? The dig means the sky, and Digambara means the yogi who walks around dressed in the sky. And another name is Jain. Jain means naked. They don't wear clothes. They walk around with a stick. You can see them in India. They still wear shoes, sandals, but they don't wear anything else, okay, for their whole life. And I met some of them. I had to work with some. We had a donor who anyway, that's a long story. And I asked them why you don't wear clothes. And they said, to grow cotton, to grow farming cotton, you have to kill the insects. You have to dig in the ground. You have to kill the small creatures. And we believe we believe in non-violence, ahimsa. We believe you should not kill even the creatures by growing cotton. So, and they won't eat any food which is grown underground, carrots, potatoes, radish, they won't eat. They say when you dig it up, you kill creatures. So anyway, he gets himself all messed up, dirty, like he's a wandering saint, okay? And he goes down and he gets to the king. He stands in front of the king and he has a doubt. And he's too shy. Should be, right? He's afraid to ask the king for his wife, okay? And he just stands there like, he's really afraid to ask the king for his wife, okay? And then the king says, oh, you look like what do you call a yeshiva student in the Jewish religion? You people who study 20 years in the yeshiva, you look like a religious student. He says, yes, I'm a religious student. Then the king says, don't be shy. Just ask me anything you want. I'll give it to you, that's who I am. Just ask, don't be shy, don't stand there all embarrassed, ask me what you want. And then finally the young man says, okay, I was sent here to ask you for your queen, because give your teacher the riches your teacher desires. Give to your master the offering they deserve. He quotes his teacher. Then the king has a moment of, he doesn't have doubt, but he hesitates because he feels like it's going to hurt the queen. So he doesn't hesitate for himself. He hesitates because he feels like the queen might hurt herself. It's like she might commit suicide or something if she has to go live with a bunch of 500 rough guys. And he's like, he hesitates to give his queen, And then people come from the city and they're all like, what's going on? What's this guy asking for? And somebody says, they're asking for the queen. He wants the queen, And we're afraid that the king is going to give the queen. At this point in the story, section 111, can you tell me something unusual in the translation 111? What's the king's name? they call him the Bodhisattva. For the first time in this sutra, for the first time, they call him the Bodhisattva. They don't call him King Sri Sena. Okay, here in the Tibetan it's Changju Semba. Okay, and this is the first time in the sutra they call him the Bodhisattva. Okay, and then he says to himself, okay, Anatole, you ready? If someone asks me for my own child, speaking of your child, can I borrow your child? Can you four guys come up? Quick, quick, quick. Flavia, you guys, okay. Rosa's not here. She's probably sleeping it off. But we wanted to thank the Guadalajara guys, family for coming. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. You got that video, Tim? There's a new project. Guess what? Guess what? I made a new project. We have a Yoga Studies Institute for 21 years, and they teach people to be healthy by doing yoga. And you can learn how to do business, you can learn philosophy, you can learn meditation, but if you don't have a body, you can't do it. Okay. And I think, we teach business all over the world. We just taught 3,000 people business in Vietnam last week. And we always teach the business guys, look, you got to understand one thing. If you don't have a body, you can't do business. Okay. So if we're going to teach you to be a successful business person, we have to teach you how to take care of your body. Okay. Otherwise, if you get sick, if you get diabetes, if you get heart problem, you get ulcer, it doesn't matter how much you understand about emptiness, or it doesn't matter, you're dead. Okay. And in my business, diamond business, I've seen so many wealthy people, they got sick. They didn't take care of themselves. They eat bad. They don't exercise. They don't do anything. And they are very powerful. I have a guy, a business partner in India. His son was married in the Bombay soccer stadium with 60,000 guests. And I was there on the way to the wedding. They threw diamonds out the window to the poor people, a whole way, 60,000 guests. They changed the whole stadium to a wedding, Hindu wedding thing, Jain. And the father, he was made a knight by the Queen of Belgium. He put so much money into the economy of Antwerp. He was knighted by the Queen. I worked there for a couple months, and his toilet, which is a dual toilet, you know what this is? You can sit on your bottom, but it also has wings, and you can squat on the top. If you're from India, you can do India way. If you're from Europe, you can do the seated way, okay? But the whole toilet is pure gold, okay? The whole toilet, the whole sink, everything is pure gold. He has 18 antique cars in his basement. He's crazy wealthy, okay? And we worked together. Then one day he had a stroke. He ate too much. He didn't take care of himself. The next day they brought him to the office in a stretcher. They have to carry him. And he can't talk. He's like this, And and it was terrible to watch him. In one day he became a vegetable. And they used to bring him, carry him, and put him in the chair every day, gold chair. And he just sit there and somebody wipe his mouth, And so you gotta, if you're gonna practice Dharma, if you're gonna practice meditation, if you're gonna do Buddhism, if you're going to do business, you have to take care of your body. Okay, you have to. And I hate exercise. I'm talking from grandpa hates exercise. I hate exercise more than any person in this room. Okay, but I go every day to the gym. I take care of myself because I want to be alive. I don't want to die. Okay, why am I talking about that? We brought these guys to Kyoto for two reasons. Number one, Dad is a very good disc jockey, DJ, and I want to thank him for the music last night. And these guys have a new project, and I'm going to play you a 2-minute video about the new project. You guys stay for a minute.
We are making this new menu for people in this community, and we want them to enjoy it. But also, we want to make it healthy. How can we make food that is attractive to people all around the world with different cultures?
How are we going to change the culture of this town? Well, it's not going to happen the first day.
This whole beautiful cafe idea is an idea about growing a healthy community around a little cafe in a very, very small, sweet town. But you know, it's really hard to change people's tastes. You have to do it a little at a time. And it has to be delicious or they're not going to want to eat it.
That's gonna be a difficult one, because like, how can you make a cinnamon roll better than a cinnamon roll?
And it's an amazing way to bring inspiration to people. So a lot of people come and they're looking for food, and then it really opens up to like what even eating healthy can do for you. You know, it's only up to us to take care of ourselves, and we need to do it. We need to be strong. We need to be healthy to make change in the world. Hopefully a seed is planted there, and then a whole new way of being could come to be.
I don't believe in one perfect recipe. I believe in connecting with people. I think that if we use food to help each other, what is it that we cannot achieve if we are together?
Feel that it is like, oh, this is beautiful.
It's the theory of making your own food at your own home more healthy. I think the most important thing is that we have a community around the world of people who want to try to change the eating habits of the world. So I'm very happy with the meeting. So we had a challenge. So we're gonna, if you do, so we have a big organization that teaches yoga. YSI teaches yoga, and if you do yoga every day, you can be healthy, but it also depends how you eat. Okay, and I love to eat donuts, and I love hot chocolate. I love bad things. My wife, it's a constant battle. She goes away, I buy donuts. She comes back. And what we found out in the Yoga Studies Institute, YSI, is that it doesn't help to teach people exercise if they eat bad. But if you eat healthy, then you don't have to exercise so much. That's my goal. So we're trying to balance the Yoga Studies Institute with healthy eating. And the idea of the show, so we have a regular Netflix type of show, there will be 8 shows every season. One season will go for about 8 months or something like that. And there will be 8 shows of about half an hour. We already filmed the first 8 shows. The first season is all filmed. And what we did, the theory of the show is we take a popular dish from different countries. So could be Mexico, could be Germany, could be Russia, could be any country. We take a popular dish and we make it more healthy. We find a way to make it more healthy. So we like to say, we take your grandmother's favorite dish and we make it more healthy. So the cafe which I bought with my wife, or despite my wife, the cafe which we bought in our hometown, their most popular food is a cinnamon roll. And it's very unhealthy. It has a lot of sugar. It has a lot of cholesterol. It has a lot of starch, carbohydrates. It's almost only sugar and carbohydrates. And so this team, we gave them a challenge. They're all vegan cooks. They're all vegetarian and vegan cooks. And we said, you come to the cafe, you stay for 2 weeks, you make, before we open the cafe, you make the cinnamon roll healthy. See if you can make the cinnamon roll healthy. So they experimented for 2 weeks. They tried, for example, and we say no cruelty food, non-cruelty, no meat, no animal products. Nobody was hurt to make the cinnamon roll. So we have to change the milk. We use almond milk. We have to change the sugar. We use a fruit called monk fruit sugar. We change out the old tired cinnamon. We put some real Bali cinnamon, right, Anton? And we put some real stuff in it. And then we tested. And we blindfolded people from 9 people from different countries. And they sat at John Brady's house. And we gave them 2 cinnamon rolls. And we asked them which one tastes better. One of them has 0 grams of sugar, 0 sugar, half cholesterol, no animal products, no cruelty, no hurting animals. So we had 2 cinnamon rolls for each person. 9 people tested. Guess how many prefer the better one? 9. 9 out of 9, blindfolded, okay? 9 out of 9 blindfolded. So it's just to tell you, I know Vivian's working on this in Guangzhou. And if you want to help with the show, we're happy to have people to distribute the show. We'll do 8 episodes every, I don't know, 8 months, 12 months. We're editing the rest of the shows, but if you're interested in helping with that, then talk to these guys. Why I brought Anatole to Kyoto is to be a disc jockey last night, but also we noticed that Japanese people, if you go to America, everyone's overweight, everybody. And if you come to Japan, people look nice. They look healthy, you know, they look trim. And but these guys are here to do research in Kyoto. So they had a difficult job to go to different restaurants and eat. And they are checking out like Japanese custom to have small dishes, very small dishes, and eat carefully, eat wisely. Even the chopstick prevent you from eating much because American people will drop the food. So anyway, they are here to do research, and I wanted to introduce their project to you. And if you want to help, if you want to get involved with it, they will be, the goal is we take everybody in the world, like my family, when my father got cancer, he was dying. And I asked him, Dad, I don't know where we're from. I don't know what country we are from. I never asked him, and he said, we're Irish. I never knew it. I was 20 before I found out. He said, we're Irish, we're German, we're French, and he told me, he said, you don't have to ask a person what country they come from, see what they eat, see what they like to eat, because they are eating what their mother gave them. And their mother's eating what the grandmother gave them, okay? And you can tell a person what country they are from the food they like, because that comes down, even language is lost, but food is not lost. So we have a goal. We want to take your grandmother's favorite dish, even you Ruskis, or you Mexicanos, or I don't know, Hazakis, whatever's your country. We want to take one dish. I think the next dish we're talking about is kanji. Can we make a kanji without pork, for example? We're gonna try to make your grandmother's favorite food healthy and change, same taste, same feeling, but no cruelty and no sugar and no cholesterol and things like that. So that's our goal. If you'd like to help with that, talk to one of these guys. I have to thank them for coming. This is for and Veronica and I went shopping and we saw these really cool glasses. For spying on your neighbors, for spying on everybody in the audience. You can see who's sleeping, who's awake. And we thought to give this to the boss of this group. Gracias, boss. Thank you guys for coming. Yeah. You can do your homework. Do some research while you're here. Okay, so that then you can do less yoga. All right. Okay. Now let's finish the story. We have 2 minutes. The king says, the king says something controversial. And I'm going to ask you in the afternoon let's discuss it in the afternoon, okay? The king thinks to himself, he doesn't say it out loud. He says, if I hesitate to give anything to another person, I cannot reach Buddhahood. I cannot become a Buddha. Even my wife, even my child, even my own life. If I hesitate, I cannot become a Buddha. So he makes his decision based on that. Okay, and he says, I will grant my wife to this young man. And then he says, and I will do so happily. I will not hesitate. I will do it happily. Okay. And there's a lot of discussion here. Is it correct to give up your child? Is it correct to give up your wife? I mean, we will say no. And we will doubt it, right? I mean, it sounds very nice. Those old bodhisattvas, good for them, I'm glad nobody asked me. I would just punch the guy. Anybody want to try? So But he decides, he tells the young man, okay, come here. And he says, take my wife's hand. And in India, in the ancient custom, they hold hands, and the father or mother will pour water on the hands. And the king gives his wife's hand, and the young man takes the hand, and he takes water and he pours it on the hand, you know. And then the very cute ending, okay? They say the young man thought to himself, I better get out of here before he changes his mind, you know? So he says, live a long life, our good king, and I love you, and everybody on the mountain love you also, and we'll see you later, you know? And he leaves with the queen, all right? And so we have to think about, is there a limit to what you share? And is there a limit to what you should share? Is it right to share everything? And maybe we talk about it later on in the next class. Tim, you have anything you wanted to talk about? Ale?
Thank you, Geshe Michael, for teaching. All right, how is everybody doing? Okay, I have a quick announcement. Let me find them. Yes, so I just want to remind everyone here in the room and in the online participants that tomorrow will be raffle the meditation ring. So you still have time to buy some tickets and support ACI. And if you have the chance to see the ring in person, is gorgeous. And then the second, I just want to say the meditation class will be taught by Pierre and Maria, and will be at 11 o'clock a.m. Kyoto time. For the online participants, please check your Telegram chats so you'll be here on time. And also want to mention that this class will be live
Em nghe
streamed
nói
too.
gì không?
And then
Hạnh nghe
the
chị nói
last
gì không?
thing, we want to invite. Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you, Sugeng. We want to ask the
Có ai nghe
participants
chị nói gì
in
không?
the room if you by mistake took one of the headphone sets with you yesterday, please bring it back because the hotel is very concerned and they're very expensive. And then this is the last announcement for the online participants. Thank you so much for being with us and see you very soon. And for the participants here in the room, as you heard last night, we couldn't broadcast the party, and we want to create something special for the students online. If you could please share they were with us, and that will be very nice. Thank you very much and see you soon.